And we're back. Good morning, afternoon, evening, good time zone. Welcome to the stream for the people who weren't here for the earlier one. Yeah, there's a Degen. You really want all my thumbnails to have this face, don't you? Anyways, we are back for the NIKKEs. Goddess of Victory NIKKEs. It's been a while since I played this game because of the amount of collabs I've been having recently. Jesus. So today we are playing Enter Heaven, which is EH's event. It's considered a side event, but I think with EH, anything related to the... Words not wording, my brain is ceasing to function. The place, not the art. Anything related to Exotic Squad is very lore heavy. She enters the chat. Heaven, you say? Yes. Yes, I did say heaven. I wish stands existed. I wonder what mine would be. Dio. Hello again, Seb. My brain is at like 1% right now. Like for the stream earlier, I was riding the high of sleep deprivation. The moment I ended stream for that one, everything crashed. I smacked face right into the wall of fatigue. I was slightly falling asleep, like in between, while eating, if I'm being honest. And now we're here. My brain feels extra fuzzy. Like half of it has floated off into its own universe. The other half is struggling to function. At least for NIKKE, the only thing I have to do is read and process lore. At the very least. I'm pretty sure Pushy's Bible was actually a fanfic of him and Dio that he did. Hey, a lot of people have said that, and I agree. It's like, why do they lie on the same bed together with Dio being shirtless? Like, why is that a scene? Either they're homosexual or they're gay. Yeah, today we are finishing off with the NIKKEs. Depending on how long the event takes, we're going to be also covering some developers' notes and upcoming news for the update that's going to be on Wednesday. Because it's kind of a unique update. Usually you have anniversaries and side events, but this one's like a 3-week event out of nowhere and there's gacha skin, but not an anniversary event or a seasonal one. So we'll see what that is. Something about the patch notes said it's like a dating sim? So there's like routes and options and dialogue choices. The last time they did something like that was the second winter event, and a ton of people hated it. We'll see what they did this time. Because of JoJo, and JoJo is really gay. Exactly, Seb. Favorite JoJo? Jonathan. Jonathan is one of them. But for me, Jotaro. Jonathan's good for like the amusement, but Jotaro, Joseph. For me, it's the weird hair boy Josuke. Josuke has its own, like, quirks. He has his own good qualities. The one that I'm just the parts in general that I'm the least interested by was Jolene's, if I'm being honest. It was good, but it'd be a bit different. My brain, yeah, half of it's bloody. I'm just thinking of Jotaro right now. It's like, I don't like how they did him when he got older. I don't like how they did him dirty. On one hand, it makes sense. On the other hand, it's a bit hard to believe he just forsake training and, like, all of that for the sciences, the ocean sciences, but I can see how that can be explained. But to the point that he abandoned his own family, more or less, but maybe a thing. That entire NIKKE was a dating game, just that with tons of depression. NIKKE as a dating game would be interesting. Jotaro Part 4 outfit was clean though? It was. Yeah, Part 5 did him dirty. Part 5 and 6, honestly. Okay, before my brain floats even further away from what we're supposed to be doing. You mean 6? Yeah, 6 they did him really dirty. 5, it's like, okay, but you start to see the regression of Jotaro in 5. Then it like solidifies the regression in 6 is the thing. Like you see it happening over time. It's kind of sad because Jotaro had the whole entire arc with Polnareff, like after part 4, but we don't really get to see that. We just get to see like a Cliff Note version of it from Polnareff, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Let's go to this screen. And open that. Araki forgot to show it. Did he forget to show it or just didn't have enough screen time to show it? Both? Yeah. He's a bit too busy, taking the drugs to make the next part. They all be trippin'. Okay, let's go in here. We got 2 days left for this, so this is one of the last days we can do this event. I feel like I was gonna say something before we started this, but my brain is not braining right now. I think the music for this is very... How did my brother call it? Like 2000... early 2000s punk rock, I think is what he called it. I like it. Did not expect a free H though. Soon you'll see if Steel Ball Run is as good as they say. Steel Ball Run has a lot to live up for in terms of the manga rating. Like how they're gonna be animating that and making into a digestible anime of what the fuck is going on. excited to see what they do with it. I have no idea what the hell is happening in Steel Ball Run. I've only heard questionable quotes from people about it, so I get to see it completely blind. Drugs. Drugs. Mm-hmm. A lot of them. Hey, when you mix different types of drugs that are compatible, you get an explosive high. Is it a good high? That's questionable. It's a high. Okay, so some spoiler warning notes, as we usually do for these events. EH is a character who you need to be caught up in the story to fully know what the hell is going on. She looks slightly different for early game commanders, and there's a reason for that. There's also a lot of lore that's probably going to be covered here that you need context for from different parts of the main story. So for those who are not caught up and don't want to be spoiled, spoiler warnings. For those who, I guess, don't want to see this for whatever reason, also spoiler warnings. Everyone else, stay here for the ride, if you want to. You're gonna see all colors at the same time and he'll be attacking you. That's fine, you like not understanding shit. That's a spirit. The standard, I believe, 12 sane hard mode shouldn't take the 3 to 4 hours that we usually do. We'll see. It shouldn't be voice, so I'm gonna be doing some reading. Night is alright. Start. Another Viper, we're coughing. Wonderful. Okay, they're in a dusty ass house. Like, Viper, my throat hurts. Seriously, doesn't anyone ever clean around here? Why is there so much dust? Should I eat it all? Would that make my throat stop hurting? Jackal, that's gonna make it so much worse. Don't. It'll only make it worse. Each looks so good in a new design. Okay. Thanks, boss. Now then. The tip we got said there have been sightings of dangerous people coming and going around here. Maybe drinking cold water? Cold water usually restricts the throat further, though. That's the thing, cold water is refreshing, but it makes the throat restrict. Warm water is the one that makes it relax. Also, I feel like warm water would clear out dust easier. Not for any scientific reason, but it just feels like it cleans it up better. There might be a scientific reason. I wouldn't know it. Viper looks around the area. I see a whole bunch of dust, but no signs that anyone's actually been living here. Yeah. There aren't even any light fixtures. Why something shady in the dark, huh? I wonder what it was. Viper, boss. Over here. There's stuff written all over the wall. There's little writing on the wall. Viper turns on her phone flashlight and shines on the wall Jack was pointing at. What is this? The wall is covered in words written in red. Traitors. Hypocrites. You abandoned us. What's that in the center? Light is our right. Heavenly ascension. So context for those who don't know. Heavenly Ascension is a group of terrorists that EH used to be the leader of. Back when she was still a human. She was the leader of Heavenly Ascension. Do you think Heavenly Ascension is behind this? Hard to say. I thought you'd already taken care of all that. I did. Yay, terrorist! No! For illegal reasons, no! But now it looks like a little investigation is warranted. I'll handle it. By yourself. Yeah. PH stares at the wall, filled top to bottom with writing. I'm pretty sure this is a message meant for me. Suspicious signs A. Hello, Ingrid. More context. Ingrid and EH had prior connections before EH became a terrorist leader. From what we know so far, they were close, friends? Or at least contacts? I'm hoping we learn more about their connection here. Come in. Thanks for making time. I know how busy you are. You said it was urgent. What's going on? It's about a terrorist group from the Outer Rim. Heavenly Ascension. You remember them? Of course. They were behind a lot of terrorist attacks in the Ark. Crow used them to blow a hole in the Dome of Eternity. So context for the term Dome of Eternity is the ceiling of the Ark that projects the sky. Also the thing, if it shuts off, people will have mental breakdowns because they realize they're underground. Then do you know who founded Heavenly Ascension? I do. Good. I'll make this quick. As you know, EH is the one who founded Heavenly Ascension. Right. Why are you telling me this now? After the attack on the Ark, EH expressed a desire to atone for her sins. She asked to become a NIKKE so she could take responsibility for what she'd done. As part of the deal, she was forbidden from leaving the Outer Rim. A bomb was placed around her neck, and she became the leader of Exotic, agreeing to dismantle Heavenly Ascension herself. Those who left the group under EH's orders were spared their lives, while those who didn't were punished for the terrorist attack. And Heavenly Ascension was thereby declared disbanded. I had no idea that all happened. However, there's an issue. Since then, the remnants of Heavenly Ascension were quiet, or at least we hadn't seen any signs of activity from them. Soup. Hello, Regin. It's good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Recently, though, we received intel that they've started moving again. Did you just say the group was dismantled? It was. But then, reports started coming in. Light is our right. Heavenly Ascension. That's their most famous slogan, and it's been written all over the Outer Rim. Can it just be some copycat, though? Of course. That's entirely possible. But we also can't rule out the possibility that there are remnants of the group still around. If so, EH's reports of dismantling Heavenly Ascension may have been false. A ruse meant to protect what remains of their group. At least, that's one theory. Always good to make it. You doing good? That's good. It's always nice to hear that people in chat are doing well. The suspicion got pointed at her. It's not unreasonable for the central government to come to that conclusion. After all all they see when they look at EH is the former head of a terrorist organization. That's why they're asking me to look into what's really going on with her. Do you think she lied? I don't know. I can't say. I don't want to give my opinion first and influence your judgment. Besides, let's just say I'm not fit to judge. What do you mean by that? For now, I want you to see EH in person and determine whether she's involved in this or not. So we know she has a connection to EH. I don't know if the commander's ever known of that, because there were scenes between Ingrid and EH. I don't think the commander was ever there when they discussed those things. You're one of the victims of the attack, but you also have a long history of treating NIKKEs without prejudice. If there's anyone who can remain impartial here, it's you. Alright, I'll meet with her. You're really going through with it. Yeah, I was asked to. Were you able to get in touch with her? No, she's not answering my messages or calls. That's not good. Whatever is really going on, this whole situation is suspicious. I'd advise keeping your guard up, Commander. Regardless of whatever EH intended, something is already in motion. You can't do as you've always done and blindly trust someone because they're NIKKE. Don't worry. How can I not? Let me come with you. It's dangerous to go alone. I don't need that line from you, Rappy. What are you giving me? It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. What are you offering? Just yourself? If we move as a group, we'll draw too much attention. We're fairly well known now. Even so, it's better than being defenseless. I just don't want to provoke them. Regardless of who's doing this, their recent actions have been bold. True, but I don't want to escalate this and drag innocent people into it. Still, I don't think going at it alone is strategically a good idea. That's why I've already contacted someone else. Someone else? Wait, you don't mean... That's exactly who I mean. Wait, who do I mean? What am I talking about? But you've never seen a gun of quite that shape or size. Oh god, that's not a gun, it's your dick in disguise. Eva. Bonkus. Honey. Viper. It's been a while. Okay. I think... Is this unpopular opinion? I don't know at this point. I like Viper. I've always liked Viper since she was first introduced. I like her design. I like her personality. I like how they did her character. I was a bit sad of how the commander treated Viper right after the terrorist arc in the main story, as well as the summer event that she shows up in. His response is completely reasonable. I just like Viper, so I was sad. I'm hoping he treats her a bit better because she has changed. She has actively tried to change because she is in love with Commander. To be fair, who isn't? She gets a head pat. He still seems a bit cold to her, but with the favorite item and everything, hopefully things are a slight bit better. Or it could also be Thunderbird. Thunderbird didn't choose to look like that, so... She looks cute, yes, but per her name, as well as her personality and what she does, she is a snake. The snakes are a bit venomous when they bite. He's a slippery little one. It's been a while. It's unlike you to be the one to call first. I just haven't been able to reach EH. Oh, I don't mind the reason. I'm just happy you reached out first. Does Commander never reach out first to her? Okay, still reasonable, but sad. What if you're into that? You like it when your girl's a bit manipulative and toxic? And like, lies behind your back just to look better to you? You into that? Like, it's in her nature to be manipulative, but over time she has tried to be honest, at least to the commander. You see a bit of a shift. Why not? You get a head pat, Seb. If you into that, fair enough, but I'm a slight bit worried for you. Dots. Commander! I'm so happy to see you. Jackal also gets a head pat. Yeah. Thanks for coming out. Don't mention it. So you're looking for a boss too, huh? Yeah, I heard Heavenly Ascension's on the move again, and I want to ask her about it. Yeah, we've been tracking them ever since we found signs of their activity. You've been tracking them too. Who do you think first found the wall with that slogan written on it? It was us. But a few days ago, after we found a certain wall, she said she'd look into it on her own. We haven't been able to reach her since. She's not responding to you either. Have you tried going on and looking for her? You bet. I ran around everything trying to catch her scent. But I couldn't smell her anywhere, so we didn't find her. I say. Can you show me the wall you found before she disappeared? Of course. It's deep inside the outer rim, though. Are you sure you're up for it? It hasn't been upkept for a long time. To the point that there aren't even any lights. It's dark and dangerous. It shouldn't be a problem with you two around, right? Oh my. Here you were so guarded earlier, honey. And yet now you're putting your trust in me. I don't see any reason for you to betray me. I suppose that's true. Are you going to double-cross me again? Of course not. I won't do anything like that again. Not now or ever. I'm not going to betray you, honey. I swear. Alright, I'll trust you. Thank you. Viper said thank you. Then I'll say it too. Thank you, Commander. Now, as a sign of our trust and commitment, how about a handshake? A handshake. A handshake. Viper extends her hand. You said you'd trust me, and yet you're already hesitating. I'll never do anything to hurt you, honey. I swore, remember? Alright. Jacko is a sore throat girl in the earlier scene, yeah. Jacko is kind of like a doggo. You give her head pat, she happy. She sees something biteable, she'll eat it. You tell her to go fetch, she will fetch. You tell her to bite someone, she will bite. She is a very trained doggo. I'm being watered. Jacko voice-wise, for the ones who don't know, she's very like a high-pitched Garyu, happy-go-lucky type of voice. She's adorable. She's just doing what the others tell her to do. She doesn't really know right from wrong. As long as it's fun to her, it's good. I take Viper's hand. Your hands are so warm. Viper lets go of my hand. Good. I'm all charged up now. Follow me. He just wanted to hold his hand. Pioneer of the Outer Rim. It's kind of like the bunny girls, where they hold our hand and we charge our luck. We hold Viper hand and she charges herself emotionally, I guess. Following Viper and Jackal's lead, I head deeper into the Outer Rim. There really aren't any streetlights around. It's dark, huh? Heavenly Ascension never developed this area. That's why there aren't any lights. Heavenly Ascension developed areas. Mm-hmm. The entire Outer Rim used to be like this. It was already dark enough without the Dome of Eternity. With the partition blocking the way, barely any light from the Ark could get in. EH changed that. She said people shouldn't live in a place this dark. And so she dug through piles of scrap to find light bulbs. Ran electrical lines through the buildings that were still standing, and installed streetlights all over the place. After that, people started following her, even though she was an outsider. An outsider? EH? You didn't know. What do you think EH stands for? Do you know not her real name? I think I heard it was Elysian Harper. So I know her name, but not that she was an outsider. Since it's Elysian that sent you, I figured they would have told you everything. Sounds like that's not the case. Is there more I should know? It's probably better if you hear everything from EH directly. It's all really personal stuff, so I don't think it'd be right for me to talk about it. She's our boss, you know, and I want to respect that. For now, just know that EH was originally an outsider, who came into the Outer Rim on her own. Alright. You two seem to be on pretty good terms with her. Who? With EH? I mean, it's not like we were strangers before. We already knew she treated her people well, even back when she led Heavenly Ascension. Once she actually became our boss, though, that's when we really understood why people liked her. Yeah, Frost treats me well. She does say I can't bite whatever I want, though. There's a lot of things she tells me not to do. I don't like that. I want to chomp stuff, but she says no. That's because you keep eating weird things and getting stomach aches. Oh, really? Then I like Boss. She's nice to me. I didn't really expect that. After what happened with the attack on the Ark, I figured things would be more strained between you. You think so, right? I did too. So when EH first became our boss, I just flat out asked her. And then... what a surprise. You're the EH. Now you're here to lead Exotic. Did you volunteer for it? Yeah. Really? But we stabbed you in the back. Are you really okay working with us? Yeah. Wow. Very impressive. Oh, unless you're here to try and reform us former criminals. Is that it? Of course not. My hands aren't clean either. Still, you're different from us. You had clear convictions. Ideals and intentions don't make a mistake any less wrong. I have no intention of lecturing you two, as though I'm somehow innocent. I joined Exotic because the squad is the only one operating in the Outer Rim, and I figured I can protect this place. I have no resentment toward you, and no desire for revenge. We can't change what happened, and now we're all paying our own price. That's all there is to it. I had no idea you're the type who makes life harder than it used to be. Not that I mind. He's a straight arrow too. Remind me of him in that way. Okay then. I look forward to working with you, boss. Me too, boss. Likewise. I like their group dynamic. It's very oddly wholesome, honestly. They balance each other out well. A lot better than when Crow was the leader. And that was that. Do you get it now? She's got a good heart. Despite everything we did to her. That's why I don't think she's trying to rebuild Heavenly Ascension. I realize you might not believe all that because it's coming from me, but I do hope you'll hear her out, at least once. Don't worry. That's why I'm here. That's the kind, honey, I know. Let's get going. We're almost there. I like Viper. I wish our dynamic was a little less strained, but blowing a hole into the ceiling of the Ark does things, I guess. Also, literally shooting us in the back. It wasn't her specifically, but she helped. I follow Viper and Jackal into a rundown house. As we enter, our footsteps stir up a cloud of dust. Just deep inhale. So musky. I'll never get used to this dust. I hate this place. It makes my nose and throat hurt. Then do you want to wait near the entrance? It shouldn't be as bad there. Okay. This is the place you saw EH. Alright, this is the place you last saw EH. Yeah, that's right. See that wall? Viper shines her phone light onto one of the walls. Words like traitor and hypocrite are scrawled all over in red. How could you abandon us? Words of resentment. Die, central government lapdog. As well as some curses. There it is. And the familiar refrain. Light is our right. Heavenly Ascension. Heavenly Ascension's slogan. So this is what she saw. Yeah, she said it was a message meant for her. It's probably from someone who resents her for breaking up Heavenly Ascension. If that's the case, it means she's a target. And if she's been unreachable ever since, she might be in danger. Yeah. Given that she was strong enough to hunt down NIKKE, even when she was human, I have a hard time imagining something happening to her. But when people harbor a grudge, you never know what'll happen. It's possible she came back here at some point. Let's check the house one more time for any clues. Alright. Jackal, it's time to stop playing out there. We need to see if we can find any signs that the boss was here. Oh man, inside there. My nose is clogged from all that dust, and my throat hurts. Then just use your eyes. Oh, right. Okay. I'll help find boss. However, no matter how much we search the house, there is no trace of EH. There's nothing here. Maybe she didn't come back. Viper, my nose really hurts. Can't take it anymore. Yeah, we can stop. This isn't good. We can't just go searching through the entire outer rim. For now, let's step outside, honey. Staying here can't be good for you. Yeah, let's go. Hurry, hurry, let's go. Viper, Commander, hurry! Okay, we're coming. Before following Jackal and Viper out through the entrance, I glanced at the writing on the wall one last time. What's wrong? Something catch your attention? You know, just taking one last look. Looking closely at the phrase, light is our right, heavenly ascension, I noticed a small groove etched into the word light. What's this? I press my hand against it. Huh? The ground gives way beneath me. What the? Honey! And I drop down. That sounded like a rag doll. Oh, there goes all my cankles and ankles and kneecaps. After a fall that lasts longer than I expected, I slam into the floor below. Ugh. I look around. The room is pitch black. Where am I? Huh? You're not Viper or Jackal. Who's there? Something heavy slams into my head. And I lose consciousness. Okay, not only did I break my cankles, now I have a concussion. Elysian Harbor. So much blood. I hear someone's voice. Come on, wake up. EH. Do you recognize me? Yeah, I clutched my throbbing head and stood up. Try not to move. It looks like you hurt your head. Right. Before I passed out, I got hit on the head with something. You did? By who? I think I saw the silhouette of a man, but I couldn't make out anything. I see. Don't worry, I'm not that badly hurt. Also, I can regenerate at a lightning speed for some reason. You shouldn't push yourself. You lost a lot of blood. The wound looks pretty bad. I'm really A strange chill runs through me. Aside from the cold, I really think I'm okay. That explains a lot. There's only one issue. We bled a lot, therefore our blood is everywhere. Our blood contains Vapus. If a NIKKE touches our blood, their nymph goes bye-bye. EH, is their nymph okay? Do you have nymphs? Does Exotic Spot have nymph? Because for the most part, their nymph is deactivated because of the work that they have to do. Because they have to murder people if it calls for it. If they have nymph, it's probably filtered, but EH, did you touch my blood at all? You was about to say the fuck commander is a tank or something. It sounded like we took either a bat or a metal chair to the head and we're perfectly fine. It probably was like a bat. Mind if I take a look at the wound? You're wearing gloves, right? Yeah, he's mentioning it. Yeah. Okay then, go ahead. Just be careful not to touch the blood. Okay, we're assuming she didn't touch it yet. Alright. I don't know if EH knows why she shouldn't. What about a metal dick? Is that just a strap-on at that point? Like a very cold metallic strap-on. Each comes closer and carefully examines my head. It's completely healed. See, what did I tell you? Judging from all the blood, I'm sure it was a serious injury. And yeah, it's... What's wrong? Nothing. Or the butt of a rifle, that also works. If they had a gun, that would make sense. Like, they saw it wasn't either Viper or Jackal, and it was like a random civilian / commander. They didn't want to kill us, so they just knocked us out unconscious. Though with enough force to make my head bleed out, I think they did want to kill us. So maybe not. I would have been shot otherwise, you would think. Unless they didn't want to make noise. That would also make sense. She starts to check the rest of my body, starting with my back and arms. As she's checking me out. Thankfully, it doesn't look like he's sustained any other injuries. My broken cankle's healed too? Damn. Still, just because the outside's healed doesn't mean you don't have any internal injuries. Head injuries shouldn't be taken lightly. Let's rest here for a while before we get moving. Yeah, sure. She might be right about me not being fully healed. I'm starting to feel a lot colder. What are you doing here anyway? I'm looking for you. Me? Yeah, Ingrid told me Heavenly Ascension is back. Oh. That. I came to confirm whether you're connected to it. Whether I'm connected. You came to check whether I'm behind all this. It seems the central government suspects you. They think you never really disbanded Heavenly Ascension, and that you falsified your reports. I see. It makes sense for them to distrust me. To them, I'm sure I'm just a criminal who switched sides to survive. And now they want Ingrid to look into it. Yeah. Then she asks you to investigate. And to determine for yourself whether I'm behind this. Yes, she said she wasn't fit to judge. Not fit, huh? Yeah, I could see her saying that. I'm sorry. You got dragged into this because of me. The fact is, I am connected to this. The one writing all these things everywhere. As if Heavenly Ascension is rising again. Is sending me a message. He resents me for what I did, and considers me a traitor. The fact is, I did put an end to Heavenly Ascension, so it's not like I don't understand where he's coming from. So you figured out who it is? Yeah, I did. We agreed to meet, but when I arrived, I was knocked out with sleeping gas. And that's how you ended up here. He's most likely the one who knocked you out as well. I doubt he expected you to be looking for me. So he must have panicked when he saw you. He did seem confused, muttering something about me not being Viper or Jackal. And I figured. After hitting you, he must have realized you're connected to the central government. He probably put you in here with me, figuring that if we died together, suspicion would naturally fall on me. Whatever the reason, I'm really sorry for you. Really sorry for you got caught up in all this. The grammar ain't grammaring in that sentence. So she gets the sleeping gas, but we get the bonk. We do get the bonk. The thing with NIKKEs? A bonk wouldn't really do much to them, unless it was like with a metric ton force. So I guess the man that found us was ready to use sleeping gas, but saw that we were a human. Well, now I have a better idea of what's going on. You're tangled up in something messy as well. Still, my telling you all this doesn't prove whether I really put an end to Heavenly Ascension or not. Ask me anything, I'll answer. In that case, why did you form Heavenly Ascension? Why would you want to know that? I know you've been fighting for the rights of the Outer Rim. What I don't get is why your resistance took on the form of terrorism, or what led to your subsequent change of heart. That's why I want to know more about how it all started. I think it'll help me judge better. Judge what? Me. Yeah. Alright. You've been dragged into this mess. The least you deserve is to hear the full story. It goes back pretty far, though. Backstory? You get to learn more? Do you know what my name used to be? I've been getting that question a lot today. Huh. I think I heard it was Elysian Harper. That's right. Elysian Harper. That's my name until I chose to cast it aside. Elysian, as in the company. Yes, that Elysian. It was a name that came with a lot of weight. Having that name meant I was the next CEO. In other words, I was the heir to Elysian. The heir? That would mean that you and Ingrid are half-sisters. We share the same mother. That would explain a few things. You don't look related at all, though, even if you do share a mother. The dad genes are strong. So you're the older sister, then? No, you're the younger one. I'm the younger one, yet you're the heir. Okay. Her mother was the former CEO of Elysian. That must be why Ingrid says she wasn't fit to judge your family. Yeah, I guess. Honestly, I didn't realize she still thought that way. What kind of company do you think Elysian is? An arms manufacturer strangely obsessed with tactics, or a company strangely obsessed with uniforms? I mean, they're both true. The thing with Ingrid, she cares a lot about her NIKKEs. Both as NIKKEs as well as their mental health. She's the most tied with the central government, though, so there are a lot of things she can't do unless she wants to be slapped on the wrist by the upper heads. And she suffers a lot because of that. There are a lot of scenes where Ingrid is present and regretting what she couldn't do to help her NIKKEs. An arms manufacturer strangely obsessed with tactics. Tactics. Yeah, Ingrid does like that word. Anyway, you're right. It's an arms manufacturer that focuses on tactical excellence. But that wasn't always the company's top priority. In the past, Elysian pursued only one thing: power. Power? Yeah, more precisely, the power of humanity. When the Raptors attacked, humans abandoned the surface and fled to the Ark. My mother believed that, in order to avoid extinction, only the strong must survive, so that humanity would grow stronger and evolve. Is that the Darwinism? No, that's not Darwinism, that's... Darwinism's genetics, but it's been years since I don't know this. Is that Darwinism? Am I gaslighting myself? My brain is not functioning enough to remember. Survival of the fittest. I know that phrase. That thing. That thingy. That's what she used to say, at least. That sounds similar to Elysion's current philosophy, but also a bit different. That's right. Ingrid believes humanity must use technology to defeat the Raptures. But she's not so fixated on their sole pursuit of strength. Mother was different. She pursued strength to the point of obsession. That's why she wanted the strongest of her children to be her successor, which was you. Ingrid and I were constantly tested and compared. I came out on top, which is how I became the heir. And the reason I was given the name Elysian. So, do you understand? So it's Ingrid and Harper. Is Elysian just a title that got attached to your name then? Unless Harper and Ingrid are the last names of their dads, do you even have a first name then? If it weren't for a certain incident, I would have inherited Elysian as planned. What incident? Did you know that Elysian built the Outer Rim barrier? What? No, I had no idea. Of course, it was the central government's proposal that initiated the process, but Elysian spearheaded the construction. Mother had long believed that the weak were meant to be cold, and felt that garbage should be kept separate from human inhabitants. So she naturally welcomed the proposal. She knew people were living there in secret. She used to say they lacked gratitude for being allowed to live in the Ark, instead squandering their lives on gambling and pleasure. She called them garbage. At the time, I really thought the people in the Outer Rim were all like that. But then, during the final inspection of the wall, I was sent to the Outer Rim in my mother's place, since I was there and all. That's when I learned for myself. The Outer Rim wasn't a mere trash dump. Just like the Ark, there were people living there. Real people. Not garbage. This is humiliating. Hey. What are you doing? Huh? The young boy and girl are startled and step back, dropping a fuse. What's wrong? It sparkles, and it's pretty. You're going to light a dynamite fuse because it's pretty. We want to make a light. Everyone says there's no light here. Yeah, we played around with fire on that mountain. The light was really pretty. I just wanted to see it one more time. Before you went boom? That's a dynamite stick, little boy. Is that not allowed? It's... What are kids like you doing here in the first place? Where are your parents? How did you even... What do you mean? This is our home. This is your... home. Mom's here too. She's inside over there. I think... The children timidly glance at the fuse. Are we really not allowed to light a fire here? I'd really like to see more pretty lights. No, it's not allowed. You could get hurt if you're not careful. We could? Elisa and Harper carefully looks up to... Hey. By the way, third time. Let me try that again. Elisa and Harper carefully looks at the mountain of trash. Why did my voice go down? Let me try to clear my throat more. Also, yes, the water helps. Thanks, Tab. drink water. Okay, very aggressively cleared my throat. Let's see if that helps. Use this instead. Huh? She picks up a sparkler that had fallen to one side of the trash pile, and then lights it. The bright light begins to burst from the tip of the sparkler. Wow! These are the only things you should be lighting, okay? Okay. That's when the thought hit me. People live here. I can't just ignore that. So she turned from being the heir to wanting to help the Outer Rim citizens. That's nice. In a way, that changed the direction of the company Elysion in a good way. Because Ingrid is honestly a better manufacturer leader compared to Harper. For the sakes of the NIKKE. Hey, a character with actual armor. That is true. She had more armor as a human, which makes sense. She was one of the few humans who could go toe-to-toe with a NIKKE just because of her own combat prowess. Also, the armor probably helps. She skims down on the armor a lot in her NIKKE design. I guess you don't really need it when your entire body is made of reinforced metal. Elysion Franca? Their mother, I'm guessing. Franca doesn't seem like a last name, so Franca, Harper, and Ingrid. Then Elysion's just a title you slap onto the front, I guess. So Ingrid's technically Elysion Ingrid, but did she ever receive the title from her mother is the question. Proposal for improving the living conditions of Outer Rim residents. Elysion Franca tosses her tablet down. I sent you on such an important assignment so you can learn about what being my successor entails. But now it looks like you come back more foolish than when you left. Who are the residents of the Outer Rim? There aren't any humans there last I checked. Mother. That entire place is filled with garbage and nothing else. After being granted the privilege of escaping the surface and seeking refuge underground, they chose to hold themselves up in that dump. And that makes them garbage. If you really view those things as people, then that tells me all I need to know about how poor your judgment is. There are children who are born there who aren't like that. It may be true that adults who went there were weak and made foolish decisions, as you say. But those children never had a choice. That doesn't matter. Being born in a dump still makes them garbage. What kind of logic is that? If their lives are meant to be anything more than that, then they'll find a way to survive, to get stronger, and to make it out of there. If they can't, that simply means they were born weak, and they will die weak. That's a law of nature. Said many times before, humanity as a whole must become strong. Only by casting aside the weak and strengthening ourselves can we survive in this world where inhumane monsters run rampant. Have you really not learned that yet? Still, they're just children. If you really can't understand, you aren't qualified to be the heir of Elysion. Don't become weak, Harper. The era of the Great Elysian must not be swayed by pity for the weak. Be clear in what you keep and what you cast away. For the sake of a stronger human race, the weak must be discarded. Otherwise, humanity will never grow stronger. It is only through strength that humans can avoid falling behind in this inverted ecosystem and accomplish the great feat of reclaiming the surface. Okay. It was then that a thought came to my mind. If we only pursue strength in an attempt to avoid extinction, and in the process we discard our humanity, can we really still be regarded as human? When the thought hit me, I couldn't take it any longer. For days on end, I kept asking myself, what is true strength? And then finally I came to a conclusion. If being Elysian the heir meant I wasn't allowed to think like that, then I would give up my position. Harper. Ingrid. Are you really leaving? Things just turned out this way. Sorry. Looks like we won't be getting tested together anymore. And Mother's okay with it. No. She was angry. She called me pathetic, and wouldn't let me take anything with me, saying maybe I'd get the sense knocked into me and come back. I've got nothing, aside from these weapons. Do you really want to save that place that badly? Yeah. I'm going to turn the Outer Rim into a place where people can live like human beings. And then I'm going to show the entire world. I'll prove that there are real people living there, in the place everyone else calls a dump. And that they can no longer ignore them. And to Mother, I'll prove that the strength that humanity actually needs to pursue doesn't come from some extreme version of survival of the fittest, but that the strong need to help the weak and give them the chance to get stronger so that everyone can grow together. That only by retaining our humanity that we can truly become strong. That's the strength of humanity that I'm after, and what I want to prove to everyone. Things may not go the way you want. I'm not trying to say that everything Mother said was right, but there are definitely those who've given up and only take from others rather than making an effort themselves. If you start preaching your ideals to such people, they might take advantage of you. There will be those who learn you came from the Ark, and that you are Elysion's heir. And, out of jealousy, they'll threaten you and try to use violence. You won't be able to rest for even a second. And yet, in spite of that, you still want to hold on to your ideals. Well, when it comes to violence, unless their NIKKE is armed like soldiers in the surface or reclamation wars, they'll surely be weaker than you. So I think I'll be fine. You idiot. You can't let your guard down. No matter how strong you are, you're bound to fall if you get careless. I know. It's a valuable lesson Mother hammered into us as children. Look, I know what you're trying to say. The Outer Rim will be dangerous. I realize not everyone there will be good like the children I saw. But even so, I refuse to give up. Harper. Unfortunately, that means I won't be able to help you. I know you wanted us to work together on your plan to make humans and NIKKE stronger through technology and tactics. Still, I'll be looking forward to watching you from afar as you create Elysion's finest forces. And you're now a part of them. The Absolute Squad will bring unmatched tactics to any fight. An Extrinsic Squad that will protect others from berserk NIKKEs. Now this is way back there when they were still in development. Liaison Harper extends her hand to Ingrid. Alright. I'm really hoping you prove to Mother that you're right. Let's both succeed at what we're trying to do, whatever we may be. Ingrid firmly grasps EH's hand. The moment they grasped hands, they switched her name from Liaison Harper to EH in the cutscene. That's a nice touch. Take care of yourself. You too. The name tag still said Harper, but the way they referred to her changed. Heavenly Ascension A. We came straight to the outer rim after that. Yeah. If I wanted to change the outer rim, I figured I had to live here myself. That's a valid point. And I'll tell you, I was surprised at what troubled me the most while living here. It wasn't the dogs picking fights because I was an outsider. Or living in a house without a ceiling, which I'd never experienced before. Nor was it the thieves that tried to enter in whenever I closed my eyes. It was the fact that there was no light, just like those children had said. Aside from the faint glow of the Dome of Eternity seeping in from beyond the massive barrier, there was no light in the Outer Rim. So I decided to change that first. When I began, I noticed there were a bunch of wires everywhere that didn't seem to be used for anything. They were capable of drawing power, so getting electricity wasn't difficult. The challenge was finding someone in the Outer Rim who'd done electrical work before. I managed to finally find someone after a long search, and we began building streetlights together. We gathered bulbs from the landfill that could still be used, and installed them one by one. Wow, it's so bright! What is this? It's so pretty. Man wearing old clothes. What's the big deal? Why are you making such a fuss over a few light bulbs? They're too bright, I say. Why are you even trying to lighten up this landfill anyway? Your eyes will get used to the brightness. This may be the Outer Rim, but we're still human beings and we deserve to live in the light. Don't we? Well, I suppose that's true. I think we need to start trying to live more like people. After all, we're humans, even if we may not live in the Ark. After that, I installed lights along what was considered the main street. Gradually, people began gathering under the lights. And then eventually... Boss. 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 At some point, people began calling me boss, and that wasn't all. I want to live somewhere with more light. I want to see a brighter world. I want to feel the world beyond the partition. They started saying these kind of things to me. I figured that since I was the one who brought these people together, I had to respond to them. So I shouted, "Let us head toward heaven. Let us prove to the world that we are alive, and show them that we are people. One day we shall cross our partition into a world overflowing with light. Let us ascend back to heaven." From that moment on, we took the name Heavenly Ascension. That's a nice reason for the name, I say. But the more I hear, the less I understand. Why did you resort to terrorism? Everything you've said sounds pretty far removed from that sort of violence. You're right. That wasn't how we operated in the beginning. At first, we were almost like a neighborhood watch group, just trying to make the Outer Rim a better place to live. We made people in the Outer Rim get jobs. It could be any kind of work, even the darker kind. No matter what it was, we made a rule that if you worked, you received compensation. Some gangs liked us and others hated. But we approached all the established crime bosses the same, trying to settle matters by whatever means possible, and then form tacit alliance. Tacit? Tactic? Tacit? What's that word? Tacit alliances with them? The hell's tacit? That's how we came to know Underworld Queen. We made an agreement with them to protect one another, and that became our greatest source of strength at the time. Once word spread that they were backing us, some other gangs fell in line a bit more, and they started protecting homes for Outer Rim residents in exchange for payment. Slowly but surely, the Outer Rim gradually stabilized. And that's when people started raising their voices. They said the time had finally come for us to speak with the Ark. They may have still been living in a landfill, but at least we were living like humans. And they said it was time we showed the Ark that. So, we tried. We secretly crossed a petition, put up posters, and shouted slogans. The Outer Rim isn't a landfill. There are many people who live there. Right now, there are many who are living amidst garbage without ever seeing a single ray of light. Your attention can bring light to the people of the Outer Rim. You can bring a new future to the children growing up there. Bring light to the Outer Rim. Bring light to the outlaws. We focus on raising our voices. But don't trespassers get killed on the spot if you get caught. Not back then. It wasn't as difficult as it is now for outlaws to enter the Ark. Security wasn't as tight. Also, outlaws weren't considered a threat back then. But that also means there was no one. But that also means there was no one was willing to listen. Another grammar question mark. Right now, there are many who are living amidst garbage without ever seeing a single ray of light. Your attention can bring light to the people of the Outer Rim. And she got hit. Boss, are you okay? Drunken man. I don't know what you're going on about, but shut it. I can't stand the noise. Verbal and physical abuse felt almost preferable to nothing. It at least meant they were listening. The real problem was how the majority of people were so indifferent. Everyone pretended not to hear, just staring at their phones as they walked past. What is she doing in the middle of the street? Excuse me. Oh no, I made eye contact. The woman wearing earphones hurries away. It felt like I was shouting into the void. And it wasn't just me. I'm sure everyone who was there with me felt the same. We decided to change our strategy and sent petitions directly to the central government. After we sent dozens, even hundreds of them, they finally agreed to arrange a meeting. We were hopeful that we were finally getting one step closer to what we wanted. But how come no one's here? It's been 6 hours. Did we get the date wrong? No. This is the right date. Elise and Harper looked at the door of the meeting room, knowing no one is coming. After that happened several times, we got the message. No matter how much we petitioned them, the central government would not meet us. No matter how much we shouted, the arc would not listen. We grew more and more exhausted until a certain someone proposed something. If they refuse to listen to us, why don't we make it so they have no choice but to hear us out? Crow? No way. We'll put on a grand fireworks show. One they can't possibly ignore. So context for people. Crow is former leader of Exotic Squad. She is #1 terrorist of the ARC at this point. She was taken away to some underground lab to be experimented on. Death was too good of a out for her. Enoch determined that she would be a lab rat for life because she needs to be punished. So they became terrorists because no one cared about their activism? It seems like it, yeah. Also because Crow here planted an idea into their heads. Imagine that in real life? Oh gosh. And she looks cool as heck. Here's the thing with Crow. Everyone hates her. Mainly because of the terrorist arc in the main story. She is not a good person. She causes a lot of death to happen. The commander hates her specifically. She tried to kill off our squad, as well as us, because we were too good. What do you mean sounds like your type? Because the thing with our existence, because the existence of the commander makes it possible for humanity and NIKKEs to actually become coexistent because of how we treat NIKKEs and change people's views on NIKKEs. Because NIKKE-phobia is a thing and it's referenced a lot at the start of the story. There are a lot of humans that either hate or fear NIKKEs because they are not human and are viewed as weapons. Our existence kind of got in between her plans, so Crow's plans, of making that hatred even bigger, of splitting humanity and NIKKEs entirely, so the NIKKEs would revolt against humanity. So she tried to get rid of us. Obviously that didn't work, we're still here. But she caused a lot of death and murder in the process of trying to do that. Fun fact, she's also the one that traumatized the AZX squad. The train squad we saw during the winter event. So Diesel, Selene, and Brit. Specifically Diesel. It's revealed during the terrorist arc. Crow is the one that went the train. She's the one that made the train go boom. That Diesel and I believe her younger brother, I believe is the story that they shared during that arc. I might be misremembering the gender. I think it's younger brother. Diesel and her younger brother were on one of the trains and Crow made it go boom. The little brother died and Diesel was turned into a NIKKE. I believe Brit was also on that train and was turned into a NIKKE. It's kind of fucked up when you think about it. The train squad, so the AZX squad that runs the trains, I believe all of them were part of train accidents and were turned into NIKKEs because otherwise they wouldn't be able to live a normal life or just not live at all. Has she done anything to Neon? She tried to kill her too. She tried to kill the whole squad off, so technically, yeah. Collectively, everyone, both NIKKE and humanity, as well as the NIKKE community, they all hate Crow. She's also one of the lowest tier SSRs. She sucks in-game. My argument is that she's not trying. Another is she's a manipulator, she's not really a fighter. Hey, fuck that bitch. Yeah, if someone does anything to Neon, it's like, yeah, yeet them. My opinion of Crow is very funny because I don't like Crow, like, as Crow. I like her character arc. I like how they made and wrote her character. She's a very intriguing NIKKE. The way she thinks, the way she presents her ideas, it's very interesting. It makes your brain think. Because her whole entire advisor story is talking about moral choices and how that impacts the rest of society. I like how it makes your brain cook. But Crow as a character, yeah, she can go down a hole. Also, I don't like that face expression, it's kind of creepy. We derailed a bit. Yeah. It was Crow. And that was the end of the scene. The bullet friend. Crow was part of Heavenly Ascension too. Yeah. I don't know how she joined or who vouched for her. All I remember is hearing she was born in the Outer Rim. At first, she was quiet, diligent, and devoted. She patrolled the Outer Rim with us, and went to the Ark with us to demand better rights. She went without hesitation to places other members avoided, and withstood all the physical and verbal abuse, and even the indifference. The reason I thought of her as a comrade, despite our philosophical differences, was because I saw how devoted she was then. But at some point, she stopped being quiet and started speaking up, raising her voice, and expanding her influence. While I was away from the Outer Rim to meet the central government, she built up a small faction inside Heavenly Ascension. That's how much influence she'd gotten. Do you want to resort to terrorism? Are you out of your mind? Whoa, calm down. Why are you getting so worked up? Terrorism is a scary word. Don't call it that. Since the Ark is so bright that we can't seem to see those of us who are living in darkness, I'm just saying we should light off some fireworks to help them see better. Don't try to make it sound harmless with words like fireworks. Your plan is practically the definition of terrorism. You want to sneak bombs into key central government facilities and detonate them. A ton of people in the Ark would die. It would be catastrophic. Or it would be a catastrophe. Why should we care? Let the big wigs in the Ark deal with all that. Do you think anyone in the Ark cares about us? About how many die of sickness? Or how many children are going blind because there's no light? Or how many are killed by explosives that got mixed in with the trash? We screamed our lungs out, but they didn't care one bit. It's the same thing. Are people dying from sickness or accidents isn't the same as outright murder. And unlike us, the Ark has a super high-performance AI managing everything. Come on, boss. You lived there before. You don't have to pretend like you haven't. We all know you came from the Ark. How dare you accuse the boss of being from the Ark? Do you have any idea what she's done for the Outer Rim? Oh, of course I do. I'm well aware of how hard our dear boss has worked for the Outer Rim. And how much has changed since she came here. How could I not? You're a good person, boss. Even I know that. I doubt there's a single person in the Outer Rim who hasn't benefited from your efforts. Not gonna lie, still thinking her design is fire? Her design is good. I've always thought that. It's just who she is. It's like, you don't even get to see the colors in these cutscenes. Her clothing is black, red, white themed. Her mane is black, then there's red highlights, and the cross sections that you see, the metal-like parts, that's the white parts. It's a really good design. You know how hard you've tried. Or you? No, we know how hard you've tried. That's why we've all followed you this whole time, including me. That never happened with anyone else. You threw everything away and came to the Outer Rim with nothing. Then lived alongside us for years. And brought light to this dump that had been covered in darkness. But what resulted from that? No one listens to us. No one remembered us. Why? Because it isn't sensational enough. That's the thing about people in the Ark. Their lives are so peaceful. They've had so much handed to them since birth. They can ask them as sweetly and kindly as you want, even raise your voice. And they won't so much as spare you a glance. If it isn't sensational, they dismiss it as boring and couldn't care less. So what? What are you trying to say? And how does this all lead us becoming terrorists? Terrorists? Didn't I say not to use scary words like that? You can still do what you want, boss. Go into the Ark to tell them what we think. What I'm saying is we add a little spice to our words. That we do it the outlaw way. We make it a game to get them more involved. If they find the bombs before they go off, the Ark wins. If they don't and the bombs go off first, we win. But, seeing how they already have so much, and we have so little, it's only fair that we apply just a tiny handicap to them. We'll know the entire plan, but they won't. Once they get engrossed in this little game of ours, they'll finally start listening to what we have to say. I guarantee it. So, Crow takes one more step toward at least Ann Harper. Just this once. I'd like us to do things my way. What do you say, boss? The look in her eyes told me that she'd go through with it, even if it meant having to go through me. She's spoken a way to rile others up, highlighting how we were together in this, and sugarcoating her words to downplay the crime and make it feel justified. Crow was an agitator, and a charismatic one at that. The others were starting to agree with more and more of what she said. And that's when I realized something. Boss, what we need isn't to throw a tantrum like timid children. We need a revolution. One of fire and blood. Because the truth is, those things can't be avoided if we're gonna get what we want. But that'll never happen if we do things your way, will it? That's why. I'm gonna do it instead. I realized I had to put a stop to it. No. I can't allow that. What you said is right. My way is peaceful and uneventful. It's never going to stir up the people of the Ark. I understand why you give them a shock. People might actually remember our name if we do. But killing people is a completely different story. all we'd be doing is giving them the go-ahead to shoot every one of us. And not just us, but everyone in the Outer Rim. Like you said, we have nothing compared to them. That goes for firepower, too. True. If they get serious and come here for blood, we'd be lucky to escape. Never mind defend ourselves. It wouldn't even be a fight. Of course, we've all snuck into the Ark before, so we might be able to flee there. But what about everyone else in the Outer Rim? The children, the sick, the elderly. Who's going to protect them? And it's not just the central government. The reason we were able to make a pact with Underworld Queen wasn't because we were so determined that we shed blood for our cause, but rather because we were protesting peacefully for our rights. If we do things your way, that pact would collapse. All the order we've spent years establishing would collapse. Order, huh? That's why I'll never approve of your plan. It's not just for our sake, but for everyone's. For everyone's sake. You say you're afraid the central government will set their sights on all outlaws. But that's easy enough to solve. We just change what we've been shouting this whole time. What do you mean? We stop saying bring light to the Outer Rim, bring light to the outlaws. Instead, we make sure they know it's us. Light is our right. Heavenly Ascension. We change our slogan. Crow's the one that made that. You want your movement to be more interesting, I think there are better choices than make things fucking explode. It grabs people's attention, so it sends the wrong message. Then the government won't target everyone in the Outer Rim, but only Heavenly Ascension, right? That's... No. Well, you're the boss. I get what you're worried about. Crow picks up the paper with her plan on it. Pretend I didn't say anything. Thanks for understanding. Like I said, you're the boss. Crow turns to leave, then stops. But there's one thing you should know. Not everyone's like you. They don't all worry about the other people in the Outer Rim. And they're not all that patient either. Crow leaves the room. She seems dangerous. Should we keep an eye on her? Louise and Harper looks around the room. A few people glance toward the door, like they want to follow Crow out. Yes, please do. I had a gut feeling, though, that her plan couldn't be stopped. From that day on, Heavenly Ascension split into two factions. The moderates who wanted to raise their voices without straying too far from the old way. And the hardliners, who said the old way would never work, and that extreme measures were required. Naturally, Crow led the hardliners. At the time, both sides thankfully understood one another. Even if they disagreed on which method to use. We at least knew why everyone chose the way they did. And the hardliners didn't cross that line. But, as I feared, the hardliners kept getting more and more extreme. Whoever translated this event, your present past tense grammar is questionable in places. The hardliners started to keep getting more and more extreme. It didn't matter how much I tried to restrain them or persuade them otherwise. And before long, that ominous feeling I had was made a reality. Sounds like if you translated it, you get a head pat, Seb. Like, it's mostly understandable, but there are a few hiccups here and there. mean, not English very much. Your English is fine, though. As long as someone can understand, I would say like 80 to 90% of what you're trying to convey, I think it's good. When you go lower than 80%, people start to get confused and have misunderstandings, but at least you're trying to communicate. Lower than 50% is when everyone's confused. English isn't a real language anyway, exactly. English is an amalgamation of random bullshit. Go. The terrorist attack she had brought me that day was carried out in secret. They only changed the location. Is that the train? Now I mentioned this earlier. You don't have to show it. Ugh. You haven't been cancelled yet, so you think it's understandable? Yeah, if you're not getting cancelled, you should be fine. We just received news of a terrible tragedy. A large-scale terrorist bombing has occurred on an AFX train operated by Elysion. That's the one Diesel's brother died. The incident took place as the train was entering the station platform. The explosion, which came from within the passenger cars, not only destroyed the train, but also caused the station structure to collapse, resulting in a terrible tragedy. The central government has deployed numerous NIKKEs to the site to conduct rescue operations. But due to the extent of the collapse, the number of casualties continues to rise. Meanwhile, according to the testimony of a survivor, a passenger on the train stood up, pulled out a detonator, and shouted the following just before activating it. The AFX incident. Yeah. The worst terrorist attack in the ARC's history was set in motion by Crow. Light is our right. Heavenly Ascension. Using her slogan. Bullet firing B. Just as Crow predicted, after the AFX incident, the name Heavenly Ascension spread across the entire ARC. The things we shouted, which no one ever listened to, finally spread everywhere. ARC citizens began to recognize that people live in the Outer Rim. As soon as public opinion started to deem the central government's initial response as inadequate, the government got in touch with us, saying that they wanted to enter into negotiations. What kind of negotiations? They said they would listen to everything we had to say. Of course, given how much death and destruction the attack had caused, we were on high alert. But the government assured us they were aware that only a small number of us were behind it, and that we could bring as many armed guards as we wanted if we were uneasy. Even still, I hesitated. The one who ultimately convinced me was Mother. I'll hear you out. Come if you want to clean up this mess. That's the message I got from her. So we decided to arm ourselves and head over. We figured that the attack had already happened, and sitting around wasn't going to change anything. How do you think it went? Not very well would be my guess. Why do you think that? If it had gone well, there wouldn't have been any other attacks. Bingo. It didn't end well. Just as we suspected, the meeting was a trap. A trap laid by my mother. When we made it to the conference room, it wasn't people in there who were waiting there for us. It was the mass-produced NIKKEs, armed with Elysion's latest weapons. You're kidding. The moment the meeting room door opened, they started firing before we even had a chance to react. In that storm of bullets, I watched as my comrades threw themselves in front of me. Stop. Let me go. I should be in there. I should be dying with them. Get together, boss. You have to live. That's the only way their deaths will mean anything. One of them hoisted me onto his back and jumped out the window. That's how I survived. Everyone who went to that meeting that day died. Everyone except me. The man who jumped out the window with me. So you and that one man. Everyone else was shot to smithereens. Face to the brick wall style. That's terrible. After that, nothing could stem the tide. Not only did the majority of moderates defect to the hardliners, but remaining immoderate became grounds for being labeled a traitor. The resentment of being treated like garbage for so long, the betrayal from being deceived into approaching the negotiation table, the desire for revenge on behalf of all the comrades we've lost. You take all those negative emotions and combine them with the precedent that Crow had set, and people began committing terrorist attacks all across the Ark. After that, there was nothing I could do. I know it all started with me. That I'm the one who pulled the trigger, and I said we'd lead the outer rim toward the light. But once that bullet was fired, it flew out of my control. Regardless of what I'd wanted, I was suddenly the leader of a terrorist organization. A leader who survived by hiding behind the bodies of her comrades. Did your mother ever contact you again? No. She assumed full responsibility for failing to kill me, the head of Heavenly Ascension, and stepped down as Elysion CEO. That's why Ingrid had the CEO mantle thrust upon her so abruptly. As for me, I cast off the name of Elysion Harper, and from that day forward, lived only as EH. Having become a powerless leader and capable of doing anything, I wasn't even able to make decisions after that. All I could do was try to persuade them to carry out attacks that didn't kill anyone. And that's pretty much how things were. Until the attack on the Ark that blew a hole in the Dome of Eternity. Heavenly Ascension's lights. So where are we currently? 3 more to go. We're learning a lot of lore about the Outer Rim people through this. It gives context to what happened during the terrorist attack arc in the main story. That's everything I can tell you. Does that answer your question? Yeah, I think it's enough. I appreciate your honesty. No need to thank me. This is the first time I've been able to talk so freely to someone. I really appreciate you listening. Whatever decision you make, I'll accept it. We've been in here a while. I'll try and find us a way out. EH Sands. You wait here for a sec. EH. Yeah? Do you ever regret it? Regret what? Leaving Elysion and going to the Outer Rim. Right. I turned toward the sound. It came from over there, right? The sound came from beyond a wall piled high with metal crates. Yeah. Stay here. I'll go check. I should come with... Honey, can... Here? Viper. Hey! Smell... Boss. Command... It sounds like Jackal and Viper. Viper. Jackal over here. Huh? Sounds... them. Boss! Commander! Said Commander Smell those stuff. Hey, we're missing some bits in between. Also, hello, R. Hopefully you're doing well. It's nice to see you in chat. We're here. Get back! What do you... Of course it's a bomb. Of course it's a bomb. Paige grabs me by the collar and quickly pulls me away from the wall. That sound. Get down. I quickly cover my head and duck. Bomb or smell? A bomb. There you are. Is everyone okay? You're later than I expected. When I saw the tracker, I figured you'd come right away. Sorry about that. This place is used for cold storage, so the temperature weakened the signal. Plus, we had to make a short pit stop somewhere. Where? Cold storage. No wonder it felt so cold in here. Yep. I guess I figured this was the best place to jam any possible tracking signals. Wait, what tracker? Check the inside of your sleeve. I feel along the inside of my sleeve. I detach a small cube, no bigger than my pinky nail. When you gave me that little boost earlier, remember? Yeah, when she was holding my hand. What boost? Come on, Commander, you can think harder than that. Now, as a sign of our trust and commitment, how about a handshake? That? Remember now? We were escorting you through the Outer Rim. We had to take a certain precautions. And what do you know, it helped us find you. Sure, but... I know I technically failed to protect you as I promised. But I did come and save you, so we're good, right? Good? I don't really get what you mean, but Commander is good. Yeah, sure. Thanks for saving me. Don't mention it. Oh, and by the way, we caught the guy who did this. You did? Yeah, that pit stop I mentioned earlier. We went and caught him. He'd actually been upstairs eavesdropping on us. We subdued him though. Wanna see? Yeah. I'll come too. Are you sure? It might be dangerous. Maybe you should wait outside with Jackal. I'd like to hear what he says. I'm involved in this too, after all. I want to know why he did it. Sure. Then let's go together. They also knocked a hole into my head temporarily. With Viper and Jackal leading the way, we go upstairs. A man is there, bound to a pillar and gagged. He glares at us. Viper, why do you like to do this to people? I was gonna say it's an HR violation somewhere, but the commander probably would have a whole cabinet of violations on him and towards him. Hey, we had to break a lot of rules to do what we do. There's a reason we have special privileges as the commander of the commando squad. Viper, can you remove the gag? Yeah, okay. Viper approaches the man and removes the gag. What are you even doing that for? You should have just killed me. It's been a while. Melon. You've got a good memory for a traitor. I didn't know you were still alive. Are they, by any chance, the person who jumped the window for you? Like, they mentioned that person specifically earlier. Melon? Pog. Yes, we have a melon. We have a singular melon. Last time I looked for you, I couldn't find you anywhere, so I thought you were dead. Why would I show my face to a central government lapdog? You'd only try and get me to quit Heavenly Ascension anyway. Why did you do this? Because I resent you. I couldn't believe you'd become a government lapdog. You were our boss. Why didn't you die back then? During the attack on the Ark, you should have just let yourself get blown up along with the surface elevator. You don't have to listen to this, EH. Yeah, there's nothing in here that you haven't already heard. Dibs on the melon? I don't know if it's the same type of melon you're thinking of. It's fine. If you just died, if you died without becoming a NIKKE, then I wouldn't feel so betrayed. Someone had to take responsibility. You lived through it too. You saw for yourself the horror we inflicted in the name of terrorism. But no matter how it starts, no matter who incites it, no matter what the justification, as soon as the wrong methods are used, the message loses all meaning. A name can be branded into history, but our cause lost all its legitimacy. We dressed them up under the name of a human rights movement, but all those terrorist attacks were nothing more than violent crimes. Crimes that brought death and destruction on a whole lot of innocent people. We can realize that we were wrong and regret it all we want, but there's no changing the wrongs we committed. It doesn't ease the pain that the victim suffered. There needs to be someone who has to atone, because pain and sin don't ever go away. EH. All those crimes we committed were in the name of Heavenly Ascension, so I thought it was only right that I take responsibility for them. Atone, huh? All by yourself. Yeah, I'm the one who started it all. I'm the one who founded Heavenly Ascension, who failed to stop Crow and the hardliners, and who ultimately decided to go to that meeting where so many of our people died. It was all me. I realized that since I'm the one who started all this, I should be the one to end it. But by the time I made that decision, my body was already dying. That's the reason I became a NIKKE. I wanted to have more time to atone for what we did. I think you should move on too. In that case, let me ask you one last question. In your entire life, has there ever been a time, even just once, when you regretted coming to the Outer Rim, instead of taking over Elysion? Did you hear us talking? Just answer the question. Do you regret it? I have more regrets than I can count. But coming to the Outer Rim has never been one of them. I swear it. You should leave Heavenly Ascension. Admit that what we did was wrong. And cast off your past life. That's the price you have to pay. No. Alan. You're a traitor and a hypocrite. I'll carry my share of sin with me. What? Another bomb. Where was he hiding the detonator? We'll never be making it to heaven anyway. So I'll see you in hell, along with the others, boss. Everyone get back. Melon. Light is our right. Heavenly Ascension. How many bombs does this people have? Yes! It's the Outer Rim. They used to be full of terrorists. I'm not surprised that they all have bombs. When the smoke from the blast clears, we hurry to where Melon had been. But only debris from the explosion remains. Oh, he got smitherened. Damn. There's no chunks left. He is done and dusted. He got evaporated. For a brief moment, the eight stared silently at the remains. Sorry to keep you all waiting. Let's get going. I'll take you outside. Okay. Following EH's lead, we walk toward the Outer Rim barrier. Viper? Boss? Commander? What's wrong? Why is everyone so quiet? Are you hungry or something? I'm hungry too. Commander, want to eat before we go? For goodness sake, Jackal. I'll buy you some food later, so just wait for now, okay? Huh? Yeah, sure. Jackal starts sniffing and moves toward a box in the corner. What is it? Is there something there? It smells like gunpowder. Boss, is this dangerous? Jackal lifts a small stick from inside the box. That's a sparkler. A sparkly? Do you blow it up? Each takes a sparkler from Jackal. It's a sparkler. You light it like this. H lights the tip. Bright light begins to burst from the tip of the sparkler. And it shines like this. Wow, that's so pretty. Commander, Viper, look, it's so pretty. Yeah, you're right. It's very pretty. I never thought I'd see one of these in the Outer Rim. Yeah, it really is pretty. Paige stares at the sparkler intently, her gaze filled with both nostalgia and regret. She looks so tired. The light is gone from her eyes. These are the only fireworks you should be lighting. I want to hold one too. I want to light it. Jackal grabs a handful of sparklers and runs off. Wait, Jackal? Lighting that many is dangerous. Viper runs after her. The cat goes off. Yeah? If I ever get blinded again while chasing after the lights, and end up setting fire to something that isn't meant to burn, will you stop me? No matter what it takes. I'm sorry. That's a lot to ask. I don't think that day will ever come. Because I'm positive you won't forget what you're atoning for. As such, I'm not going to agree to stop you. Instead, I pick up a sparkler and touch the tip to the one in EH's hand. We're touching tips, chat. Why does the crackle have a spelling error in it? The K is missing. I'll watch it support you as you atone, so that someday you'll finally have atoned for everything and be free. In the shimmering light, EH gives me a small smile. That's more than enough. Enter heaven, and hard mode scene. What an odd thing to say. I heard you ran into some trouble in the Outer Rim. Yeah, I just got my head smashed in, got a small concussion, I'm fine. Speaking of, how's your injury? It's fine, it healed up a while ago. I'm pretty sure EH went through worse. I say, Don't tell that one guy who has the private collection of Commander stuff about the touching Birmingham. He doesn't need to hear about me touching tips or something, okay? We don't need to give him more fantasies. Can you tell me what happened? Sure. I tell Ingrid everything that happened in the outer rim. And thanks for the report. Gage told you about her past. And there really was someone still in Heavenly Ascension. But he took his own life. I say. I suppose now you understand why I said I wasn't fit to judge. Yeah. Well, I think it's safe to say you've heard just about everything at this point. So, now that I have all that information, what do you think of EH? I have sympathy for her or don't have any sympathy for her. We actually get to choose opposites. Probably would dig up that sparkler. Oh, Commander Birmingham in his private quarters, probably. Goes to the outer room just to find the sparkler, caresses it while thinking about the commander. The losing of choice. It is not losing of choice because ultimately it leads to the same dialogue in the end, but her reaction is different depending on what you say. I do have sympathy for her. I say. So you consider her a victim as well. As well, so you also think that. Not necessarily. The terrorists did unforgivable things. There's no question there. But it's more complicated than that. And there's something tragic to it as well. Is that so? As such, I don't believe she lied about dismantling Heavenly Ascension. I think her vow to face her past sins and atone is sincere. Understood. I'll be sure to include your thoughts in the report that I send to headquarters. Wait, so if we chose, we don't have any sympathy for her. What would the commander say? Because that's that's saying... Would we still believe in her? Commander, I would let you spark my tip any day. Oh god. I don't need that mental image of Birmingham saying that. Okay. Well, I guess I'll be going. Who changed my outfit color? Sad. Alright, great work. I stand to leave the room. The Puff. Yes? I'm going to do something that can only be done here, and only now. It'll be the first time, and also the last. Once you leave this room, you are to forget it. Forget what? Do you understand? Yes, I understand. That matches with Ingrid's? Loosely. Ingrid rises and bows her head. What are you doing? Thank you for listening to my sister's story. Ingrid lifts her head again. That is all. Now, leave and forget what just happened. You're welcome. For what? See you around. With a memory in my heart that I'll ironically never forget, I say goodbye to the woman who is both Elysion's CEO and someone's older sister. I like that. Even after everything, they still consider each other family. Cute ending? Yeah. It was very lore heavy. It fills in more gaps from the main story. More like world building gaps that they had. But I like that ending. They still have family. And I hope that mother is dead. That mother is either very old or they're dead. They kind of deserve to be dead after what they did to the sisters. Patchy, patchy, patchy. So that was Untrap. We are around the 2-hour mark. Hey, hello, Cindy. Okay, so spend a bit more time. I do have polls. I have a lot of polls. Also covering the news that is in the Twitters about the update afterwards. Praise Biscuit, let's go gambling! Okay, let's start with our crystals as usual. What do we get? I'll take that. We always like some clay. How are you core 6 already? She is... I wouldn't say she's an old character. She's not a newer character either. She's like in the weird middle. But how are you already core 6? I feel like I get clay randomly a lot. There was one banner, I think it was one of the anniversary banners where I got 3 of her. Okay, so we have Bacillus mold, which Drake. That one's pretty good. I'll take that. We have a Tetra mold. Soda. She's not good, but she's cute. She gets a head pat. And we got the high quality access records, which we lost. And now we have this. Is that the last one I needed? I'm pretty sure Maiden was near max core. Damn. Leaving Soda on the bench. Bunny Soda is good on the shotgun team. Normal Soda, I think, is ranked like tier D or C. She's not good. Don't ask why Drake is wearing this. I don't know. This has happened. That is last core. Okay, now I never want to see you in my polls again because everything else is extra. Here you go. She is the owner of huge badankas. One of the biggest badankas in the game. She's very cute. Okay, I think that was everything in the inventory, so now we shimmy over here. I don't think I'm gonna be pulling for AH. The lobby background would go hard though, with that animation. Also, fun fact about EH. People on the Reddits for the NIKKE community have measured her ass and compared it to other people. She has the biggest ass in the game, apparently. Which, she do be caked up. I will say. That do be some cake. Like, even with the coat, you can see how, rotund each cheek is. She has a whole bakery back there. And that's a lot to say considering how much are in the game. Yeah, very big booba, and this is the very big ass. You didn't really see it in the chibi, though. No, you see it in the chibi. She has cake in the chibi, too. Look at that. They bouncing. They caked up her chibi. Bruh. I like how they did the newer chibis. Like, they kept all the dimensions of the characters. The lighting's great on the new chibis. She really do be moving that ass, though. Not even chibis are safe now. No, even chibi is gooner bait. I like EH, but we're waiting until she's added to standard. I really want this lobby background, though. Eventually. We'll get her copies randomly eventually. So we got Friendship Pulse. Let's do that. 310 Pulse. We're expecting nothing. It's Friendship. The rates are very low here. That's a lot of neon. Sure. Neon. And we got... I don't know how to feel about that one. We got two traumatized children and a researcher. You like purple? Stall 3. Yes, stall 3. And we got Rocky. And this is missing. Okay, so that went as well as we expected. So, I have 80 standard 10 pulse. I've been saving them a bit. I forget who needs to be added at this point into the pulls. EH is obviously one. We had a collab before that, so not them. What was before the collab? Do I remember? When my brain is working at 1%, no, I can't remember currently. The question is, do we wait until the next banner comes around for the standard tickets? Because the next banner, there is currently one new banner character. I don't think they're limited. They're just an alt. Even when it's like a 3-week event, because it's kind of a weird formula event. It's not the standard formula. I do need Solane. So, speaking in terms of meta, Solane, she's not required for any team per se, but she fits really well into the shotgun team. And I'm currently building the shotgun team, so I like her. And of course, we need Label. We need our goth girlfriend. Everyone else, it's just good to have more copies for the teams I'm building. Is the new character interesting? If it is, save them. The new character is an alt version of an existing character who doesn't love shotties. Label is perfect, she is perfect. So the person who's getting an alt, if I can find them, where's the blue, is Arcana. So our lovely self-proclaimed wife, I emphasize self-proclaimed wife, who goes through a concerning amount of memory wipes because of her job. She's getting a schoolgirl art, like alt. The outfit looks fine in my opinion. I don't like how she's holding her hair up. You'll see once I show you all of the posts, but I don't know how to feel about the alt, and her weapon type is a shotgun. Shotguns typically aren't DPS oriented unless you're talking about Summer Dorothy or Drake, like favorite item Drake. So we're assuming she's support. And I don't know how to feel about that. I like Arcana, but she's not wife material for me. For a lot of people, she is, though. Arcana. Yes. She is the Persona 5 reference person. I guess Persona in general. You have Phantom, who is literally Phantom Thieves reference. You have Arcana, who is a Velvet Room reference, more or less. Then you just have Label, who is a goth girlfriend. Who looks like they're from Pokemon. I'm trying to think, if Label was a Persona reference like the other two, what would she be? I can't think of anything that lines up with goth girlfriend. A shut-in, delusional goth girlfriend. I think we will be pulling, though. Because there's a trade-off between saving a ton and pulling. Definitely a hermit. No doubt. If you save a ton and you're missing a lot of characters from standard, then obviously pulling them when your list is more filled with missing characters is a bonus. On the other hand, if you're not pulling for a long time, you're not getting any copies, and copies are kinda... they're nice to have if you're building someone and using them for higher level content. And everyone on this list I would like to have more copies of, especially the Pilgrims. That would be really nice. Really unlikely, but really nice. We might not go through all 8 temples, but we'll do a few of them. I want to get at least Soline and Label if possible. Temple number 1. We got gold. How many is the question, first of all? 1, okay. Now, who is it? Of course it's Tetra. Of course it's Tetra. Who is it? Moran! Hello! You're a cutie. I do need more of you. I'll take that. Moran Poggers. Moran is a win. Not a missing character, though. That's the date girl? Yeah. She's a wholesome bean. And a purple? A purple. Neon? We got a neon sandwich. We got a neon and hand sandwich. That works. Let her enjoy her dinosaurs. We will. She gets to enjoy her dinosaurs while we suffer with more pulls. Not gonna say it, it's gonna become annoying. What, screaming Neon? You're fine to scream it if you want. Oop. Oh. She's waiting for it. She came back around. Plus, you're talking to the person who has to read Neon say firepower 24/7 anytime she's on the screen. There it is. Neon! No, I'm not gonna get annoyed with that. I find it funny. Purple's a nice color. I don't like it in my pulls, or... I want to see the shiny gold. Quick draw. No. Damn it. We're getting a lot of Neon. Neon, I know you want some attention. But can you bring at least one SSR with you? Don't say that it's like a jinx high now. Yeah, thank you for the tier 3 for 8 months. Jesus. Peak bomb also brings me the Tetra. You really don't have to do that, I appreciate it. We get it, Neon likes says. Neon likes the attention. Which one is this? 4th? 5th? I lost count. We're currently running dry though. Is mutual. Okay, I know I said I don't appreciate a ton of purple, but that doesn't mean I want a ton of blue. There's 3 left. Just one more? Surely. Purple's a good color. Blue and Tetra equal funny. Those were Tetra. Yes. God damn it. Oh, there Vanis. It's gonna be the next one. They're giving entertainmental. Surely. Surely. At least Moran always comes through for everyone. At least we got a Moran. That is true. There's a goal, and that's where we're gonna stop. I think that leaves us with 1 tentpole. Who is it? A singular one. Told it! Neon! I think Neon heard you that time, so she wants to help you. That's your girl. That is your girl. Now who did she bring with her? Next one? But still this. How am I supposed to feel about that? You don't know if that's good. Okay, Laplace. She's old meta. As a character, think of her like the airheaded, happy-go-lucky hero. She actually has a character arc. She has character development over the story. Spoiler warnings for the people who don't want to know this. Avert your eyes and ears. Anyways. At the start of the story, when you first meet her, she's very stuck up. She's like Mastilis's golden girl. She's Suyun's favorite. And before she became a NIKKE, she was actually a very frail girl. She went to the hospital a lot, she couldn't really move around. And Suyun picked her to be her top project, basically. And she endured a lot of tests, a lot of pain, to become the perfect NIKKE. Her mindset is kind of like, humans are weak, NIKKEs are strong, she's here to protect them, humans can't do anything without her. That was her mindset when you first meet her. She's very snobby. Also very thick-headed. Over the course of the story, she actually starts to warm up to humans more and wants to protect them in more like a typical superhero fashion. She wants to protect humans because she loves them, because she wants to do her best for them. She wants people to look up to her. It turns more into that mindset. Still as stupid and thick-headed, but her intentions are better. The other issue with her is she doesn't know what a door is and breaks through every single window she possibly can, because jumping through them seems cooler. So the construction cost that she brings with her everywhere is kind of high. I lost count of how many windows she smashed through, and another neon sandwich. Neon's being a good girl today. She's bringing the good luck. We'll save a 10 poll for when we have more, because I like doing them in bursts. Neon, yeah. Neon's a good girl. She brought us luck. Let's see, you are now core 3. Moran is 100% worth it to core 7 for commanders who are either newer or don't know about meta. She is top tier burst 1 once you give her her favorite item. You can use her in hard mode at the current chapter level if your level is high enough. She is SSS across the board. If you don't have her favorite item, then she's only SS, I think SS or SSS in PvP. Her favorite item allows her to be used in PvE. The boss is good for Basilis Tower. Again, favorite item though. It's always good to save. Yeah, it's always good to have backup in case we get something in the pool that we want. Also, hamster on the screen. Marianne. This game got PvP. Yes, it do. It's not a huge part of the game. You get currency from doing PvP that you can use in the shop, which is given to you courtesy by Mustang in your mail. He spams my mail every single day. Can't go a day without seeing his face. We do PvP, get in the mail, use the PvP currency to, which one was it? These currencies all look... The yellow ones look similar when they're zoomed out. This one. You use PvP currency to purchase the code manuals, which every NIKKE needs to level up their skills. The gear is bait. Way overpriced, not worth it. This, some people get. You basically melt down pre-existing gear into another reroll. Can we see a Coco beating someone's ass? Do I have PvP charges? I think I have 3v3 still. Because I do my dailies before stream usually. Did I forget to do them? Hold up. 1 second. I think I did, huh? I forgot everything but PvP. Well, this works out perfectly. That was not intentional. Yeah, sure, we can do that. Birmingham Mustang Club Link. I think Birmingham fears Mustang. I don't know if they ever interacted directly, but Mustang has the power to threaten the deputy chiefs, so... I don't know if this one's possible. They have a nuke team. He fears with massive dick energy. This one should... Yeah, we'll turn quick off. You get to see PvP content. PvP meta is a lot different from PvE because people's skills work a bit differently when you're facing other NIKKEs. So this one, it's a one team versus another team. Then the other PvP mode is 3 teams versus 3 teams. And Moron wrecks shop here. Give Birmingham the Mustang outfit. I don't think he'd fit. I don't know if Mustang's outfit is a one-size-fit-all. He's pretty slender. His hip is snatched. Birmingham's kind of the opposite of that. Okay, that's gonna kick my ass. That's a nuke team. We can beat that one. The main issue with PvP, in my opinion, is who you're placed with. So PvP, it's separated into groups of servers. The server number that you're in is dependent on when you first join the game. So your level range compared to global. And there's a range of servers that you get stuck in terms of PvP specifically. So there's the earlier side and the later side for servers. The later side is always going to be stronger. I think my server is kind of around like the middle to older. So we're more so in the advantage, but we're still getting beat out by the oldest of our server group. I've climbed over time in terms of PvP. I think I'm consistently like top 30 at this point. Your number is next to the profile thing. I move around like top 30 to top 25. I don't know if I can beat this. We can try. Quick PvP overview just by looking at this. How you know if you're gonna lose is the type of team that you're going for. My team is a stall nuke team. So how that works is Moran, like going from left to right, Moran, if her health reaches a certain point, she heals herself back up, and she does taunt, so all the bullets will target her. She soaks up damage. Noah, if she activates her burst, makes everyone invincible for a certain amount of time. So if the enemy does a nuke burst, then it blocks that. Cindy is a nuke burst. Lasers fly across the screen, hopefully kills the enemies to an extent. Heavy Snow White is burst gen. Also nuke burst if Cindy dies, but that's very unlikely. And Biscuit is damage reduction buffer for very specific NIKKE types. She's probably the most complicated one on my team to explain. I'll need to go into the skills to properly explain her. Their side, Jackal damage reduction, Biscuit damage reduction, Scarlet, nuke, screen wipe, Amelia, nuke, screen wipe, Helm, burst gen. Am I gonna win this? Probably not, because I am 100,000 weaker than them. But we can try. 90% I'm gonna lose. If Noah can block Scarlet's burst, there is a slight chance. We blocked it! We blocked it! I was a millisecond away from dying. I was so close to dying. It is always worth trying. Because their team didn't have a damage blocker. Their team completely relied on Scarlet. That's why Noah is so overpowered in PvP. This team is disgusting! Why do I say that? I'll explain. D-Killer Wife. She provides pierce, but that's not really useful in PvP. Blanc makes 1 burst 3 attacker invincible for a certain amount of time after burst, unless there is no burst 3s and it's the next burst highest attack that she can choose. Privity is a stunner screen wipe. She was old meta. I haven't seen anyone use Privity in ages. Red Hood's a nuke. Asuka's just here. Their main advantage is power level. We'll see. I'm either gonna die horribly because they're so overpowered compared to me, or I'm gonna burst in time and be able to kill them. The issue is Red Hood slash Privity. 1, 2, 3. We're good. This team is disgusting. He said that so offended. It's a disgusting PvP team. And I say that not in the way that it's like so disgusting because it's so well built and toxic. It's just disgusting because it's a bad team. They just threw in the strongest people they had and didn't think about it. That's usually how PvP goes unless you get to the higher ranks. This one I'm not beating. They're using a similar strategy to me. I'm not beating that one. This one though. They have a lot of healing, but that's about it. Random bullshit, go! It works everywhere besides PvP. This team doesn't really have that much synergy. There's like a very loose shotgun team theme, but besides that, it's just healing and burst gen. This whole team's theme is healing. That doesn't go well when you're facing a nuke. If you can't heal as fast as you're dying, it doesn't work. Then 3v3 is more of a brain hurt because the people who are serious about this actually care about team building, usually. Damn, song, it is a bop. Mustang's jamming behind the spinning discs on this one. I'm kind of stuck in Diamond 5 at this point for this game mode. I haven't moved from Diamond 5 in a while, but that's one lower than the highest rank you can get in terms of class. It's Diamond and Challenger, I believe. So if I can climb to Challenger eventually, that'd be nice. But not anytime soon. There might be a Diamond 4 I can beat. Why are you so weak? How are you up here? Scarlet, nuke. Amelia, nuke. Bestie, nuke. Okay, I can see why you're up here. I don't want to fight that, actually. What do you have? Like, you start to see the same people being used over and over again once you're up here. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find a Diamond 4 that can beat. Leave that there. Yeah, that's PvP. You basically listen to Mustang screaming about entertainment, and NIKKE's fighting other NIKKE's for entertainment, and you get currency. As simple as that. Okay, let me pull up the Twitters for the news. I'll stay on this screen because it's just formatted better. Yeah. Voxel, thank you for the raid! Let me do a shout out. What we're all doing? I guess we'll find out in a second. How's the stream? Overwatch! How'd your matches go? Hopefully they went well. It's nice to see, huh? For the people who are new, I am Coco Pup, a Thailand VTuber Dragon. We play a variety of games here. We're currently playing NIKKE. I'm also running on 1 hour of sleep. And I've been streaming since 12 p.m. my time with a 2-hour break in between. We've been busy today. I am a plant? No, I'm not a plant. Lima, hush. Go in the corner. Hush, hush. Played Apex, Marvel, and Overwatch. Oh, you're on a... I was gonna say FPS, but it's not. You're on a game grind, weren't you? Hopefully all of those went well. We're playing with friends or solo queuing? I'd imagine you were playing with friends. Ignore the girl in the bathtub in the background. You don't see that. That's not any better. Ignore the sus. Actually, does your community like sus? Say hello to Velvet. She's a lovely individual. Your friend Zill's fun? That's good. Well, appreciate you choosing to stop by over here. We were just about to look at the Twitter announcements for this game for the upcoming upcoming update on Wednesday. Good stuff, but so tired, got work tomorrow. Boobs. Okay, for the people who came in, if you want to, it's obvious I'm on 1 hour of sleep. If you need to rate and run, go right ahead. No obligation to stay here. Do what you need to do. If you need to go resties, go get some food. Stare at a wall, maybe. Do what you need to do. Especially you, Fox, so get some resties. Go. Yes, that's also an option. And Twitter, yes, Regin. Yeah, Velvet, she cracks the commander on the story. Because, yes. Have a good night, have a good night, Foxel. Appreciate the radies. What was I doing? Oh yeah, Twitter. Okay, time to lag for a bit because Opera is booting up. Ah. Everything's crashing and burning with my performance. It stabilizes eventually. Just the way that Opera works, it loads in all the tabs it had to save all at once, then the tabs slowly go to sleep one at a time if you're not focused on them. So, is overall performance better than other browsers? Technically yes, but at startup, hell nah. Okay, pull out that tab because y'all don't need to see all the tabs I have in the back. No, there's no porn. There's no sussy shit. I just don't need to have all my tabs flashing. Okay, let's make it big. We like it when it's big. No pause on that. And scroll down to where it's relevant. Should be this post. Need to go in here. Switch window capture to this. You're a little too big. Opera is... You're too big, Opera. You don't fit. We'll keep NIKKE open in the background for the track. Okay. This one. First of all, this was the preview that they teased us with. We just saw Viper, so we're familiar with her. Preview is other girl. And of course, the first comment that I see is talking about their cake. Well, I'm not surprised with this community. Is this a Valentine's thing? I think it's a White Day thing, but we already passed White Day, so I'm not sure what this event is for. We usually have a Valentine's event around Valentine's. I don't know what the theme is here. It's just a random special event wedged in between things. I'm thinking this is the White Day event. They just timed it weird. That's how it feels, at least. At least with the chocolates that they're showing. Then the new banner character is Arcana, Fortune Mate. The blue girl I showed earlier. Her outfit looks good. People have been calling the crystal ball between the pickup a bad plug, because it's this community. We're all horny degenerates. Or horny. Depends on the community, they clearly did on purpose. Oh, they always do it on purpose. But I don't see that thing being a butt. Actually, there's a base. Yeah, they put in the shotgun shells here to hint that she will be a shotgun user. Also, this is a thing. Is the coat real? No, question mark, but my god does he love blue hair girls. Fun fact, CEO's wife, I believe, is the designer for Helm, which is the OG blue girl wife. The wife is one of the NIKKE designers, and she likes pushing the horny agenda. She's a lovely person. She knows what we want. The new gacha skin, because she didn't already have enough skins. I think she has 7 skins now, if you include her maid alt as a skin. Otherwise it's 6. I'm gonna be honest, she looked good. My gosh, she looked good. She also got a favorite item recently, which makes her usable again in very specific meta situations. So will I be getting this? Maybe. I need to assess the lobby screen and animation. I need to see all my, what I'm getting as a package. I need to see all of it first. So here's what I'm scared about. These are both schoolgirl themed. If you know anything about the NIKKE community and the NIKKE lore, anything related to schoolgirls is nightmare fuel. It's trauma-inducing because it's always connected to the MMR vocational school. Regin, thigh highs. Yes, it is wonderful. Hey, overall, she is rocking that outfit. I believe they also posted her front animation as well. We'll be looking at the developer notes in a bit. Like that. She's horrifying. She looked good. That's a pose that she is showing off to us. if I'm being honest, it looks very uncomfortable to be in that pose. Like, look at her foot. Look at the angle of her foot. But she does look good. There's also a ton of people on the Reddit side that are editing her image to be of other characters. Because no one was expecting Arcana. Absolutely no one. Animation? I don't know if y'all have audio. No, you do not. Looks like the knee hurts in that pose. Exactly. Basically, she's asking this quote right here, "Hey, did you do your homework? I didn't do mine. Will you take the blame with me?" She wants to put us under the bus with her. So we have this cute image, right? Perfect phone screen background. It's the description that makes me concerned. Anyways, you'll be going. Holy shit, it's 3 AM. You got distracted by the lore and the boob and the thighs and the ass. Yeah, you go to EVs, Seb. You need EVs. You still have a school week. Why are you still up? EV. The community is participating in MMR Vocational Schools project to improve its public image because it has a reputation. From day one, he finds himself at a crossroads with Arcana and Privity, who both join to help. What fate awaits them? A story about youth, love, and memories is about to unfold at your fingertips. That implies I have to choose between those two. And I don't like that. Because I have to at least make one of them sad. I don't want to do that. Maybe this is just for the desktop people. Then we got Privity's front animation. If I'm being honest, the first part of the animation, wonderful. The middle part, okay. The ending, it like tapers off. It's not the best I've seen from a gacha skin, but it's definitely good. Then, random thing. NIKKE's getting a Razor collab. For the people who like that. Let's just say lore. Yeah, you were definitely here for just the lore. Bye bye bye, Seb. Show the porn? What do you mean? With my browser? Hell nah. So for the ones who care about the Razor stuff, I don't know how NIKKE got a Razor collab, but it's happening. Specifically with Viper, because her color theme fits in with the, I think it was called the Kraken Razor headphones, the white pink ones. So now we got Viper skin. That's a hashtag, we don't want to go there. I don't know what that screen showed. We got a Viper costume in-game with a pass. And we're getting Razor stuff out of game, I would assume, later on this month. Should be announced. So for now, what we have is this skin, which is like a casual gamer e-girl outfit. Why is she wearing like lingerie straps with the thigh highs? I don't know. It's just how she is. Tummy. That's all I can say. Tammy. Everything's fine, it's just the... I forget what they're called. The thing that's on her belt connecting to the thigh-highs... Garter belt? No. Yes? That thingy. It stands out a bit much. Everything else about the outfit is wonderful. That part... Why is it so floppy? It just sticks out a bit. Then we have the animation and update notes. So we'll watch this next, which is a preview of the event that's coming up. We're peeking on our blue-haired girls. And it's formed in a way of a visual novel, and I'm scared. I don't know which direction they're taking this. But my god, does the foot like it's hurting in that pose. She got the pouty. So pause. Went too far back. That's adorable, for one. Yes, we're being stepped on, but look at her face. That's adorable. The background we see here, though, it implies it goes from that to what we're seeing in the back, because that's... the thing in the back is usually the burst image that we get, which that, too, is very cute. It fits pretty well. Then we got these four as a lineup. Clay looks good, it fits her. She's in her gym clothes. Bestie going back to school probably isn't the best idea for the ones who know what happened. For the ones who don't, think of school shooting, that's all you need to know. Sora is doing the Booba cup holder, bottle holder, I guess? And the Viper that we saw. So this is the thing that I am afraid about. Why is it a visual novel? Why are there multiple endings and routes? I'm scared. I don't want to make someone depressed just to get all the endings. Worst ending is you get neither. You break both of their hearts. I don't want to do that. You like the lace? Fair enough. Everyone wants to be stepped on, confirmed. I don't want to be stepped on. I said we are being stepped on, but her face looks cute. I didn't approve of being stepped on. So we got those. The last thing we need to check is the developer notes, because there is a very important thing written in there that I've heard people talk about. And a lot of people don't read these because who likes to read words on a screen in an image, right? But for people who play every single day and are kinda competitive / casual, these are important. So, Cliff Notes version. Developer, blah blah blah. We're going into spring. More updates. So regroup feature update. For the people who do Solo Raid, Union Raid, Solo Raid Museum, anything that requires you to use an attempt, and you have to quit the game in order to get the attempt back to change your team, they're putting in a mechanic so you can change your team without having to quit your game, because they noticed a ton of people doing that apparently. Which is so nice, because I don't like restarting my game when I realize I fucked up a single character in my team, who should have been someone else. How is it gonna function? We'll find out, but it sounds promising. That is scheduled for the March update, so the update in 2 days. Then Anomaly Interception, so this is for the people who continuously kill Kraken for the stones, the people who grind the gear for the other bosses that you can beat. They are increasing the overall rewards from Phase 1 to 9. Thank God, because we get nothing in terms of difference between 1 and 9 from what I've seen. I still get 0 rocks no matter what level I finish at. So they're changing that. Then they're also changing the amount of rewards you get for full burst days, so the extra times 2 days. Apparently they're putting in even more rocks for those days. I need rocks. Cindy eats all my rocks. I need more rocks. I think everyone could use some more rocks. I'm in water. Yeah, same thing applies to equipment. I don't really grind equipment, but for the people who try to get the manufacturer specific equipment, it should be easier now once they implement the update next month. So they're still working on that. Then view mode. When you go into your compendium of NIKKEpedia, when you're looking at your NIKKE, apparently they're making that look better overall. Specifically for the weapon. Enhanced logic of the combat view mode in next month's update. Preview visuals in actual combat, including weapon, resources, and projectile effects. Apparently there's a difference between the preview and actual in-game combat. Then we have the 2x2 event that we just saw the preview of in 2 days. And the visual novel style, your choices matter, blah blah blah. This event will be voiced because it's a oddly longer one with a gacha skin out of season. Then the event in April is our half anniversary. Which one is it now? Is it 3.5? Modernia, Red Hood, Crown, Cindy. Does Little Memory have that? Siren. Heavy. White Living. And I guess now this. Yeah, 3.5. So 3.5 anniversary in a month, about. Which means save your tickets, save your polls, save your gems. Because most likely it's a pilgrim. Who's it gonna be? No one knows. So that's the current updates for this game. Save your I mean, if you wanna store it up and shoot it all at once, sure. I guess. Okay, I'm gonna be smart this time and change which window I'm capturing before I close this tab, because it always goes to the home screen for some reason. And I don't need my shortcuts to flash on screen. Let's fix the size of this again. There you go. Alright. I need to update the title to reflect Twitter updates. But the shortcuts say a lot about a girl. I don't need my history, my tabs, or my shortcuts to be flashed on stream. I've done it before already. No, I'm not telling you which streams it were. If you are curious enough, you'll dive through all 130 of them. Good luck. It was 2 of 130. Incriminating tabs? I don't think any of the tabs are incriminating. The shortcuts, I think one of them like semi-doxed which college I went to, but I don't really care about that, so that's fine. If you squint hard enough, you'll see it. My tabs! So I have 4 different tab islands. It's okay, we go in here? Exactly. The Velvet is here to distract y'all. I have 4 tab islands. One of them is a bunch of Google Drives for my different accounts because I use them to back up different things. Gmail, something related to downloading Java. What? I don't need this anymore. I have the video producer for Twitch up. I have Twitter. Then I have a random tab for Fire Emblem Fates because I was going through a playthrough a while back and I need to finish that. There is one tab that is hidden in the island that is slightly sus. If people know the icon, then good for you. Otherwise, you'll never know what it is. There's another tab with like 5 different store pages for merch of random franchises that I like, that I want to get at some point. That goes to a random store page currently that says we are working on our shop. So that's not gonna give much. One of the tab islands is directly doxing something, so I'm not pulling that up. And the last tab island is a bunch of stream stuff. It has stream elements, it has Twitch, it has Throne, it has VGen, it has Reactive, and a few tabs that are for ongoing collabs that we need to go back to eventually. I still have the tier list up because I don't want to close it. We need to continue that at some point once NIKKE's voice recovers from the allergies. Anywho, I've yapped enough. We've played what we need to do in NIKKE, we've looked at the news, now we just hope and pray that the event coming in 2 days isn't gonna be depressing. Even if the visual novel aspect is cute, I am expecting something to go wrong with my choices. I wouldn't doubt it. Okay. How many people we got? Quite a few. We can raid into another NIKKE person. Let me pull that up while I am yapping my outro. So, hopefully everyone here has a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Take care of yourselves. Appreciate everyone that stopped by, especially the lurkers. Thanks for stream. Thank you for being in chat. I appreciate everyone in chat. Y'all don't need to be here. They make it very fun to stream. I'll be back tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow at 6 p.m. I don't know, PTD? Goddamn daylight savings. 6 p.m. PTD with Madara to continue and maybe finish the Pokemon Quetzal Nuzlocke that we have. It might take 1 or 2 It might take 2 parts. We'll see how fast we get through the water section. I'm expecting 2. Who is this? Noob starts chapter 11. Oh, we got a new commander? I like raiding into those. Who the hell's stream is named Daily Catch-Up? Okay, let me check real quick. Who is this person? Who is this new commander? Oh, they had Doggo VTuber. They're adorable. They're polling right now. They've been going for almost 3 hours. Yeah, we'll go into this person. As they just get a gold pull. They got 2 golds. Okay, let's raid real quick while they're panicking about their polls. So we are raiding into Yoshi Loves 49. We'll see if they like being called something else. We'll go with Yoshi. So for the people who want to scatter away. For the people who want to join for the raid, we are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. See y'all next time. Bye bye.